Everybody be sure, I'ma always want more. Does anybody make real shit anymore?
My dad and my mom, I'm the only child between those two. And then my mom has children from different men, and then my father has children from different women.
His mom and I, you know, we had a pretty good relationship. But things happen, you know, things happen.
One of my earliest memories that I remember was of my dad. And he took me to DC, and he picked up some chick, and they went into this complex, and he left me in a car for like 6 hours. I was about 5 years old. So I'm sure they were like fooling around and doing drugs and smoking and stuff like that, which is crazy. My mom had different men in and out of the house, different marriages that didn't work out, things like that. This one time in specific that I remember where she like choked me and she almost killed me, and I was a little kid. I was just hyper, I was running around having a good time, whatever, and she just had this breakdown almost as if she was like murdering me. I'll never forget it.
I really didn't have the experience of being a father, you know, because I wasn't shown how to be a father.
The only time I could attain my goals and my dreams was when I was asleep. I would go to sleep and I was on MTV. So I just wanted to rap. I just wanted to, because it was the only thing I was good at. I couldn't get piano lessons, violin lessons, this. All I had was my voice.
I met Bobby when he was about 13 years old. He lived in the same apartment complex as a friend of my son's. And my son and Bobby got very close. Bobby pulled me aside one day in the parking lot of that apartment complex and said, "Mary Jo, I know you're the kind of mom to call social services. Please don't. I'm okay."
All I knew was that life, and I didn't want to leave it. And I knew that I was living and surviving, and I was scared that if I went anywhere else, I don't know, like my life wouldn't be the same.
He was worried about what I knew about his mom. And I said, "I won't, I promise, but I'll always be here for you if you need me."
It was weird. It was something about Mary Jo that I knew I could trust her and that she was like cool, and that if I told her like it's okay, that she would believe me.
I woke up, came downstairs and saw my answering machine light flashing. And I thought, what's going on this early in the morning? At that time, my son and Bobby were living with his mother. She had had an episode and the police were involved. So, I took my van, I packed up all of their belongings, and I called my husband on the way home and said, we're bringing Bobby home.
He saw a lot of different things that he shouldn't have seen. You know, his mom being abused by other men, you know, my addiction, her addiction. I love Mary Jo, you know. Mary Jo took Bobby and helped raise him to be the man that he is today. I took him into the studio for his first time, right? He got in the booth, right? And he spit for 45 minutes non-stop. Me and the engineers, we were laughing. We were saying, yeah, he can spit. I said, you know, he's gonna be spitting forever. Just watch.
I think the defining moment for me was simply going over to Joe's Crab Shack, where he was performing with his friends. I was not a big rap fan, to be honest. You know, classic rock, classical music, blues, those kinds of things. There's something different when I'll just say when your son is performing.
It was really weird, because I don't know why they would do that. I mean, it's a restaurant, but I mean, it's Maryland, so like, yeah, they'd have like a DJ come by and like do karaoke or do different things like that. So I think it was me and Castro, and we just somehow set it up.
I sat back and observed, and it was just this incredible personal way that he has, handshaking, eye contact, work in the room, but for him it was natural.
I see I bust tables, and my homie Castro is aware. I can't wait to blow and say I told you so, haters.
Just finishing a shift and then putting on my best clothes, which weren't at the time, and going to perform for maybe 50 people, and that's including the customers that were already there. I'd never done anything like that. I orchestrated it, I set it up.
He wasn't making himself do it. It was natural for him. And at that moment I knew he was going places.
My music 100% is a form of therapy, totally. It's the only thing that like allows me to say anything and everything that I want to say, especially in the album. It wasn't until this album that I truly mastered the art of therapy, I guess, if that makes any sense.
I'm proud of him as a young man. He's the man in which I've always wanted to be. I love my son, you know, I'm his biggest fan.
I don't give a shit who you are. Nobody will stop my dream. I might seem like an asshole, but I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not.